Would you like to change the game on Wall Street while upping your own financial game? There's a new investor era where the power is given back to you. Are you wondering how you can do any of the following? Lower the fees you're paying, be active and responsive with your investing instead of passive or reactionary? How about respond to the market instead of just sitting on the sidelines? And what about reducing the conflicts of interest between you and your advisor? Or making sure that your advisor actually has your best interests at heart? If so, then it's time to get liberated with your finances and how your investments are managed. At AlphaVest, our mission is to turn you into a liberated investor. We'll provide you with our investor toolkit that guides you through the practical advice and recommendations to help you better understand the game of investing and to play it better. In 2008, the world witnessed how fragile our financial framework really is, and the fallout was stupendous. Investors lost upwards of 40%, and federal bailouts were called for and approved. The Occupy Wall Street people took to the streets, and the world economy came to a screeching halt as America held its breath. But we survived. But what came to light was how incredibly flawed Wall Street's model really is, and how harmful those flaws are for investors just like you. In fact, what came to surface was that investors are held captive by a model that leverages noise from the media, fear and ignorance about the investment game, and the motivation of Wall Street to create remarkable profits for itself. What became quite clear is that investors are held hostage by a system that they are taught to participate in, but not to master. Are you wondering if anything has really changed? Is your 401k plan going to recover in time? Are you fed up with being a pawn in someone else's game? Well, you're not alone. Thousands of investors like you have had to overcome their fear and press onward into the markets to regain their losses. But to do it, they've had to get smarter about the game and to liberate themselves from the mindset and the limitations of Wall Street's model. It's time to learn what they've learned and how you too can become a liberated investor. So what exactly is the new investor era? Well, what we've recognized is that there are two prevalent models that dominate the investment marketplace for investment accounts. Not surprisingly, both parties think they have it right, but both, ironically, have it wrong. The two models are what we call buy and hold, and the other is the market timers. The first model, buy and hold, is espoused by investors that claim that historically the markets will take care of investors if they're disciplined and they stay the course with their investments. Ingrained in this model is a message of sit back, relax, hold your breath when your statements look bad. Well, we need only to look to October of 2008 to recall how deeply flawed this perspective can be. Often termed set it and forget it by cynics, the buy and hold model fails to take into consideration the unprecedented market swings since the early 2000s. The buy and hold model communicates to investors that you have to slog through the losses and that it'll all just come out in the wash. Our opinion is that this is lazy and that advisors should avoid loss, not justify it. The market timing model, however, runs the opposite direction. If the buy and hold advisor doesn't look at enough variables and data to drive their choices, the market timing advisor looks at too many and often the wrong ones. Convoluted macroeconomic theories trying to anticipate the markets are dangerous for investors and closer to guesswork than real investment theory. It's really based on the emotions of the advisor using the theory to justify their actions. The criticism of market timing from the buy and hold camp is that they are stock jockeys churning accounts to generate fees with little or no financially legitimate rationale. Well, there's some truth in it. Much is said about the abuses of market timing advisors, routinely moving portfolios to this or that to generate fees at every transaction. Most advisors who watch the markets and try to outthink them are well-intentioned but poorly equipped. In fact, advisors aren't the only culprits. Investors too fall victim to market timing, which we call bad behavior. Reputable sources offer data that documents this bad behavior, and it'll show you, and it accounts for over 4% of underperformance on average over the last 20 years. Fortunately, there's a new model. There's a third model that liberated investors leverage to great effect. This model is new, but in many ways, it's as old as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Welcome to the Liberated Investor Model. This model gives power back to the investor. It borrows from the buy and hold, but not the passivity. It borrows from the responsiveness of the market timer, but instead of using emotion driving the choices, our model looks at facts and logic. So in essence, we take the best of both models and combine them into a fact-based, disciplined approach that we call the Liberated Investor Model. This new era of investing is really just common sense without all the fluff. To forge a new path to financial freedom and control, we must do more than repeat the past. We must employ new methods and think differently about the challenge of accumulating and protecting wealth. For employees with 401k plans or private investors, the risks of the game are the same, but so is the opportunity. This new model we share allows investors to break free of the noise, the emotion, and the conflicts of interest in order to chart a path to a more secure and aware financial future. The time is now to upend the Wall Street model and forge a new path to financial freedom. The time is now to strike out and become liberated. We invite you to claim your Liberated Investors Toolkit and take advantage of our guide, where we will outline for you the 5 specific areas that investors are at risk and what can be done about it. It's yours with our compliments at liberatedinvestors.com. And for specific one-on-one guidance, you're welcome to a free consultation with me, and we'll look at how you can lower the fees you're paying with an optional free Morningstar fee analysis if you send us a statement or a description of your current holdings. We'll also talk about how you can be active and responsive with your investing instead of passive or reactionary. We can chat about how to reduce the conflicts of interest between you and your advisor, or we can check your advisor's FINRA report card. I'm driven by my mission to help liberate you and your investments and change the game of your wealth, while together, we change the game on Wall Street.